Welcome to Midpoint, OCC's midweek podcast aimed at helping you connect with last week's message and prepare you for next week's sermon. Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome to Midpoint. Is that not good enough for you? Midpoint, your midweek connection to Orchards Community Church. I'm Wesley, and if you haven't already been able to tell, have Pastor Brenton here with me today.
You can just call me Brenton now. You don't have to call me Pastor Brenton. We're both pastors. So
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Do you like when people call you Pastor Wesley?
No, I do not.
Yeah. I used to be the guy that was like, I'm a pastor. Call me Pastor Brenton. And now I'm like, that seems pretentious. So just Brenton's fine.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't need to get in that conversation. But
I mean, we're already here.
We're already here.
The people want to know.
I'm not a fan of being called a pastor. Some of it's just feeling inferior anyway. But also
because you're terrible at your job.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for you doing my
kidding,
job,
by the way.
I feel like we already get put on a pedestal sometimes that is undeserved and that we are unworthy of and incapable of reaching. And I feel like it just further segregates. Like, I'm walking towards Jesus too.
Yeah.
And I feel like it makes it seem like I'm on a different path than everybody else.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. But
yeah,
I'll accept it. Most of the time I'll tell people just to call me Wesley. But some people it's very and I appreciate people that formality is a bigger deal.
Yeah. We have our kids say, Mr. or Mrs. or, Pastor Andrew, Pastor Wesley, things like that. But
they do. I've told
it's not
them
because we respect you.
I've told them to stop. I've told them to stop many times, and they don't.
Like, no, I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm not gonna be able to play Xbox if I don't call you Pastor Wesley. So yeah, good to know that they're doing what they're told.
Yeah,
that's good.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Anyway, last weekend you brought us back into our study of Romans.
Yes.
Yeah, and a message called "Uncondemnable," all in caps. Was that on purpose?
No, it was just to distinguish from
the title.
It was. Yeah, my brain works sometimes differently to where I'm like, I need to separate it. Like, I have to capitalize everything. So I'll either capitalize the series or I'll capitalize the sermon so that it distinguishes between the series and the sermon.
I see. Uncondemnable. Don't know why you're yelling, but it's
because I want you to know.
Yeah, you're kicking us off in our victory series as we read through Romans. So with great, I never saw the graphic. You sent me the video, and the graphic is great as well.
Yes,
it is great.
It's my favorite trailer, man. It's so. I know I sent it to you, but I was like telling everybody, I was like, this is so fun.
Yeah, and I'm what am I, a green bubble? Am I a green bubble?
You're a green bubble.
I'm a green bubble.
Yeah, I'm a
so I had
bubble.
to watch it in decompressed iPhone video, and it was still great.
Yeah. The music kind of reminded me of like Spaceballs. Have you ever seen Spaceballs? Now it's like triumphant music, and so I was just it was so fun. Yeah,
I am reminded of Spaceballs all the time because of my last name.
Oh yes. I was like Wesley, and I was like, oh, last name.
Yeah,
and
Schwartz.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah. I can quote. I've only seen it like maybe twice, but I can quote a lot of it because it gets quoted to me often.
Oh.
Yeah, which is fine.
I actually never really made that connection until just now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't think too much about the
we're not going to go down that Mel Brooks path. But, okay.
Anyway, yes.
Victory.
Yeah, victory. And led us through the beginning of Romans chapter 8, verses 1 through 4. So you told us today that you had a hard time paring down. I'm going to go off to the side like you.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, because otherwise you get you get a little.
Yeah.
It sounds good. You sound better.
I sound better?
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah.
I turned my mic off to the side just so you guys know.
Yeah.
It's like,
if you were filming this, then you'd be able to see it. But
what if I go down? Is that better?
No, you get it. Like, it does a different tone.
Really? No kidding?
Yeah.
Are they supposed to? Is there like a?
Well, I heard when you did it. I heard it.
I heard it too. It's like, is there like a gyro in there or something? That
I don't think so, but you can kind of see that's from the side, and
sure does.
Somebody's listening in the headphones, and they're just like, "Stop it!" It's so painful. Sorry.
Which we're in stereo, and I would like move back and forth. Yeah.
Anyway. Yes.
Anyways, you said you had a hard time getting this message to be within 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you had to cut out other things.
I actually no. So because it was a shortened week this week, the first thing I did was just expository preaching. So all I did was just break down the passage and just went through that. And for me to stay under 40 minutes, I need to be around like 5,500 words. And without an application message at the end and without an intro, I was already over 5,000. And then by the time I did everything, I think I was at 65. And I was like, ooh, this is going to be long. So I tried to pare it down. And I got, like, sometimes I'll preach and I'll just repeat myself to kind of, that's how I consume things. It just needs to be repetitive. Mm-hmm. And so I realized I was kind of chasing my own tail at some point. So I just kind of pared it down, and I was still at 6,000. So I was like, this is all I get. So I actually didn't take anything out that was scripture-based. So it was just me reiterating a point that I already made.
When you're on stage, do you usually go longer or shorter than when you practice? This is totally a side topic.
Longer.
Do you? Yeah. I go longer too.
Yeah. Monday nights, I go the longest because I'm pretty laid back. It's not being streamed. I kind of already know where I'm going.
Yeah.
And even this one, I talked to a couple people, and they're, like my wife was like, there was a part right here that I didn't really fully understand. So I was like, okay, let me take some time to do that. So yeah, I definitely, if you want a shorter Brenton sermon, 8:00.
Yeah.
If you want a longer one, same message, but just a longer one, go to the Monday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think James is the same way.
He's pretty consistent though. He's been doing it for a while, but yeah, he's generally pretty solid. His cadence is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not as seasoned as he is. So yeah, it tends to, plus I get nervous and like, not anxiety, but adrenaline gets going. Mm-hmm. So like the first one, like I think when I first started preaching, I'd look up at Erlene and she would just go like, slow down, breathe, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so by the last sermons, I'm like cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah. So you got everything in there that you really wanted.
I believe
to.
so.
I mean, it was 4 verses.
Yeah.
So
and it filled the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I could have thrown in another verse. I would have ran out of time.
Yeah.
But I'd pull another song or another one.
Well, you actually just mentioned, and that is my first question. So we'll get into the questions.
Okay.
We should have an into questions like sound. Boom, 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 cha cha. Anyways,
that's the sound. I'm gonna see if I can make that. The sound will go here, and then there we go.
Okay.
I'm gonna see what I can do.
All right. Into the questions.
Okay.
They're all from me.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Are you ready? Did you read them ahead of time?
No, I did. You didn't give me a script.
Oh, great. Well, I'll sit in here.
No.
If I don't, anyway, doesn't matter.
I can cut anything. It's fine. It'll just go right to.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. James sometimes likes to know the questions, and if I leave the script here, he will read it.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if he read it ahead of time.
No, I kind of like winging it sometimes.
What?
Wish people could see your face.
Yeah. Yeah. Video's coming soon.
Yeah.
Anyways, questions. You were talking about the way that you break down a passage, and I think it'd be interesting if you could share a little bit how you break down the passage, because there's kind of like I don't really know how to describe it. There's probably a name for what you do, but you kind of break it down in a literary sense of like verbs, nouns, and what those things point to. I don't know what that's called.
Like
I've never
parsing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And this message was like, I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. It was like an audio version of parsing, like, like you could really follow along. And I thought it lent itself really well.
Yeah, it did.
To this. Like, can you explain that process a little bit for those that may not? Because I find it very helpful, and I wish I had seen it.
Yeah.
I wish somebody had told me about this.
Well, so hopefully I'll answer your question. So looking at this passage, what I typically do is I'll copy and paste the entire passage into Word, and I'll highlight it, and so it's all yellow. And then as I'm walking through it and doing my research, I find parts where I can stop, or I find words that I can focus in on, and then I insert breaks there to then expound on all of those different points. And so, like for this one, therefore, okay, well, I have to explain what therefore is. Now, okay, well, now I need to explain what now is. There is no, okay, well, that means there was, or, there's no condemnation. Okay, so there was when was there condemnation? And so you're basically just keep going back and keep asking questions and drilling down to figure out what everything means. And then you kind of wrap it all together and then make it go, oh, that's what we're doing. That's kind of, in a nutshell, what the process is. That's part of the expository preaching is you, like even before I copy it and paste it into Word, I will put it on the whiteboard. I'll write it down. You've seen that. You've gone to my office.
Yes.
And the part of it is I can really do this when I'm preaching. I don't typically do this when I do like my personal devotions. But you write down the whole passage, but as you're writing, like it would say, therefore, and then the next line, because you're explaining that what was previously said, there is no condemnation. Okay, well, there's no condemnation. That's kind of its own entity. Okay, there's no condemnation. Next line, for those who are in. Next line, Christ. Next line, Jesus. Like you can go that far. And the book that I read that kind of helped me do this, like this is when you say, okay, well, this is a statement. Okay, this is a question. This is an assertion. This is an example. This is an analogy. This is a literary device. This is a poem. This is like whatever. And so you kind of break everything down fundamentally, which is the parsing. And then what that does is that helps you kind of diagram or diagnose the sentence structure or the passage entirely. And then you're supposed to like underline or highlight theological words like spirit, law, Jesus, Christ, condemnation. I'm trying to think of all the other ones. Yeah, there might be more. But you do that, and then you circle verbs or transitionary terms, or you draw lines between similes or adjectives or whatever, like things like that. And so you're just basically just squeezing everything you can out of it just from a literary or linguistic angle. And then from there, you're supposed to then ask questions. Okay, well, what does this mean? What does this imply? What does this mean? What does this imply? And then even just natural questions as you're reading it. I wonder what that means, or I wonder if that's said somewhere else, or like the therefore. What is therefore? Why is it therefore? What is he talking about? And then from there, then you do your research and you go into commentaries and stuff like that to answer those questions. And then you'll come up with other questions, or you'll see things that one commentary will say one thing and one commentary will say another thing, and then you're trying to go back and forth. Like when I brought up the some commentaries will say, no, we have overcome sin, so we can obey the law and we can no longer sin. Like that's a thing. Other commentaries were like, no, that's not what he meant. He meant that the law was fulfilled in us through Christ.
Yeah.
And so then there's, people take them both ways and kind of just go and run with it. And so it's kind of going, okay, what do I think Scripture says? And, in prayer, try to consider both angles and stuff like that. But I also like to present those things as I don't want to say like I know what's right. I'm still learning myself. But I think in those instances, it's a good idea to go, this is where I stand. This is what I think. But here's the other option. You're welcome to think that. Other great people and great theologians have thought that. But I think that's mistaken because of blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And that's how I kind of do it, is just kind of filleting open the Bible and just saying, here's everything I found. Here's what I think God's trying to say. Go. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Diagramming is probably a better name for what I was looking for. Yeah, because you did a good chunk of chapter 7 for us as a staff.
Oh yeah.
It was really cool to see patterns emerge that I don't know that I would have noticed. Mm-hmm. And to be perfectly honest, especially at the end of when Paul was kind of going through, which also points to what you were just saying, that if Paul was saying that we can overcome sin, the last part of chapter 7 is pretty rough to get there. That's what Paul was saying. But that he's kind of just going through this kind of cycle at the end of chapter 7 of I still sin.
Yeah, who will save me from this body of sin and death and corruption?
And when I initially read it, I'll admit, those seemed like 3 separate points to me. Mm-hmm. Like Paul was just going on like this like train.
Yeah.
And it was confusing. But when you broke it down, it was like, oh, he's just giving multiple points to the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just really cool how that emerged.
Well, and it's good that James kind of said, okay, I want to, because let me finish that thought. It's great that James says, this is the section we're going to preach on. So it's not like I will go, hey, I want 1 through 4, and then you can have something. Like James has already kind of figured all of this out. And so within the context, then I can go, okay, this is what I'm going to do. If I was the lead pastor trying to figure out what the breaks are, I haven't had to do that, so I don't know what that would look like. I would be interested to see how James says, we're going to stop at 4. We're not going to stop at 8. And even that passage that you're talking about, in my own head, I was like, oh, I would have broken this up a little bit differently. So I'm curious why James wanted to do this longer passage. And what did he see that said, no, this is the break I want to do? Is he following the translator's break in the NASB? Is he following paragraph breaks? Is he following some of his own just intuition and Holy Spirit driven of, no, we're going to go from this verse to this verse because I really think that I want to say this. This is what I think God is wanting us to know, kind of thing. So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, within yours, from an even beyonder or earlier stage of just looking at it all, it does seem like a run-on sentence. And that's what's really cool about parsing. When I started doing it, we did an exercise, I believe it was in Philippians or something like that. And you had to do like 8 verses and then come up with a sermon outline and everything like that. That was kind of our project during this expository preaching class. And as you're doing that, you're like, oh, that's a good point. Okay, well, that's a good point too. But that passage was already chosen and had already been preached on and preached on and preached on again. But again, figuring out those natural breaks to then go, okay, now the next time I'm going to preach this chunk, what does that chunk look like? So I would just be interested in that for my own.
Yeah.
It's cool. But yeah, it's cool to be able to do that if, what's his name? I forgot his name, but he's a great pastor. When he does Bible studies with his church, he actually shows them how to do it. This is how I would do it. Get out your pens and papers. And he has it all written down. Like we have our notes. He has it in the middle. And then it's like circle this and then draw a line and then do this. And so he's showing you how to do it.
But you did that a little bit.
A little bit.
You had people circle their notes.
Because I think it's cool. Like when you have notes in your Bible, like when we read through, when we did the All Day in the Word and we read through Genesis through Ruth, I had notes in my Bible, and so I'm reading it again, and I was like, oh, man, I saw that. Like, that's kind of cool, and that's kind of cool. And so it's like you're seeing things, and you're remembering what God told you on this point, or the thing that you saw, and you're like, oh, I forgot I saw that. That's really cool, So I think it's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's good for us to engage.
Yeah.
We talk about kids all the time, trying to engage ourselves physically, but I think it's just as important for adults.
Yeah, 100%.
You had said towards the beginning of the service that Adam sinned and ruined it for all of us.
Yep.
And while that was a fun line, I remember this is not really a question, so sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine.
I remember I used to really struggle with this when I was in college, and it just seemed so unfair. Like I want I want the chance to be able to choose whether or not to eat the apple.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go too super deep in it, but I brought it up eventually to the leader at the time of the college group. I'm like, I really struggle with this, and he's like, you get that choice every day.
Oh.
And I was like, oh.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh. Yeah.
One of my early on pastors, he said, we were talking about Adam and Eve, or he was preaching on Adam and Eve, and he said the same thing, that that you seem like, man, like Adam, you ruined it for us, whatever. And he's like, I'd have done the same thing. I might have even eaten the apple sooner.
Yeah.
Like that's like I'm just as bad as he is.
Yeah,
So,
you would have been throwing him to the horses. And
you get an apple, whatever it is, watermelon.
Yeah, the fruit.
The fruit. Yeah, you get a fruit. You get a fruit. Yeah. It's a humbling thought. I like that response.
Yeah.
You get to choose every day.
Every day. Yeah. And that humbled me because I was on my high horse. I wouldn't have ate the apple.
Yeah. It reminds me of, this is a completely off topic, but I remember when I was still of my former faith, and I was very prideful, and I was like, well, we take communion. We call it sacrament, or they call it sacrament, whatever. Sacrament. And I was like, why is it that you guys only take communion every once in a while, but we take it every week? And he's like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, so why don't you do it? And he's like, well, where does it say you have to do it every day? Like, where in the Bible does it say that? And he was really gentle about it. And I'm like, okay, good point. And he goes, so that's the first point. But the second point is, when you do it, it should be reverent and thoughtful and worshipful. Is it? And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Which is why I'm glad, I don't know if this is part of your questions, but that's why I'm glad we do it once a month, so it's regularly, but it still surprises me every single month. As you can attest to. I'm like, oh, it's communion again. So it's regular enough that we consistently do it, but it's irregular enough to where it's meaningful every time we do it.
Yeah.
So
there was a gal that walked in the Monday night service. Did we have one last week?
No.
Maybe it's December already. But anyways, the Monday night service was the first day of the month. And they're like, where's communion? I'm like, oh, like great observation. Yeah. But it's the first Sunday of the month, not the first Monday of the month. And she was like, oh, that makes total sense. But I was like, very good to remember that. Nope, I don't have any communion questions for you.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I answered them, so we're good.
All right. There was one part of your message that I think was misleading. All right. And at least for our audience.
I don't know how to take this, so we'll see where this goes. Because you're kind of smirking, so I'm...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's important when you make a...
You're already get through. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I won't look at you.
I think it's important when you make a message to know your audience. And you made a Niners joke.
I did.
That implied that you're a Seahawks fan. How do you feel that somebody who may be new to this church, maybe thinks you're a Seahawks fan?
It hurts. There are two teams that I absolutely loathe entirely. Several teams that I just don't really care for, but there are two teams that I cannot stand, and I hope they lose every game from now until the rest of eternity. One of them is the Dallas Cowboys. As a Niners fan, when I started watching, it was back in Montana and Steve Young against Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. So it's like Emmitt Smith and a good team versus a good team, NFC rivals. So that was where the birth of the hatred for the Cowboys team.
These are strong words.
Yes. Hatred in Christ. Like it's all. I don't know if it's a thing.
Anyways, the other team.
Yes. The other team is from Seattle.
Yeah.
And that spawned when the Niners were playing the Seahawks for the NFC Championship. and Kaepernick threw a ball to Michael Crabtree, and Richard Sherman reached up and intercepted it, and we lost. And then the Seahawks went on to win the Super Bowl. I believe that was the year. That was when my deep-seated...
Oh, so this is pretty fresh.
Yeah. I mean, I never liked them because they're NFC West rivals, but at that moment, I was like, don't like them. And then I'm not a fan of Pete Carroll because of what happened at USC. And so, anyway, and Pete Carroll was kind of the head coach for Seattle during that time, so it was just a whole, yeah. So the fact that somebody would think that I would even remotely, no.
Yeah. Because you threw that joke out there and then you kept going.
Well, so I had a joke that was like, I was pretty confident the Niners were going to win.
No.
Yeah. I was like, we got this. Like, we are on a roll. We beat them earlier in the season. This is going to be the game. And it was bad. Like, the Niners, even though it was only 13-3, it should have been 30-3. It was terrible. Like, they just couldn't, like, they were completely shut down. And so I had a joke about, the Niners, winning or whatever. And I was like, oh, it's just gonna naturally flow. And then when they lost, I was like, well, got to pull that one. Like, I'm not gonna. So, and I think I even said something like, oh, I did have a joke, but it didn't show up.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the point, because I made the Kansas City joke during the WB show about, was David beating Goliath like the Eagles beating the.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
The
joke.
Chiefs, and I said, well, Goliath actually showed up for the battle. And so I was like, okay, I'll give you a little credit.
It was
Seattle
humble.
did, it was humbling. And somebody was like, well, the Niners didn't show up. And I'm like, yeah, that was the joke. Yes, okay, you got it. Let's move on. So, but yes, no,
that one wasn't a new person, I'm assuming.
No, it was not.
Yeah,
no,
a new person would assume.
Father of somebody in the tech booth. Let's just say that. He will remain nameless, but yeah, a huge Seahawks fan. And yeah, so I actually was going to call because this person's son is on staff.
Just to narrow it down.
Yeah, just to narrow it down. And I was going to text him because he's a Seahawks fan. And I was like, if you say anything about this game, you're fired. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. And he was like, you should have sent it. It would have been funny. But anyway. But yeah, so anyway, I'm not a Seahawks fan.
Okay.
At all.
Unfortunately, no new people are probably listening to this. So.
I thought you were going to say that it was misleading because I mentioned a Star Trek joke at the start.
I actually originally had written that you already used that joke in a WV show.
Yeah.
And it's too soon to reuse jokes. But since we're here.
I think it's funny that you're saying that to me. Because I'm pretty sure we have talked in this very room about how we just regurgitate jokes. We're not that clever.
Yeah.
We just keep doing the same jokes.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But it makes me feel a lot better when instead of talking about us, I'm just talking about you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm not that clever. All my jokes, that's all I got. But yeah, don't like the Seahawks.
Clearly.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I hope if they could lose the first round, their bye, if they could lose on their bye, I would want them to.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get them the second time around. Yeah, playoffs, it's a whole new ball game. Score 0-0. Anybody can win. Let's go. Niner Nation.
Where's the game going to be at?
Niners are playing Philly. So that's a wild card. And then Seahawks have a bye, and then depending on how things go is who gets the seed from there. But yeah, and it's a bummer because the Niners went from the number 1 seed to the number 6 seed. So that was
with that loss,
big game. Yeah, that loss and the Rams win flopped them. So I don't want to talk about it anymore. Can we talk about something else?
Yeah.
Something more important.
Yeah. So you. We're talking about the King James version,
yes,
and the kind of extra wording in the King James
verse 1.
And just to clarify, we were just talking about this a little bit before the podcast about just that it's not a big deal that it was added.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
I thought we could expand on that a little bit more.
Yeah. So I will say somebody who will remain nameless also, but I like this person.
You do?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
Most of the time I like this person. But anyway, she told me, because I live with her, that
This show is totally anonymous.
yeah, you don't know her name.
Yeah.
You've seen her a couple times. Anyway, she said that
Kind of like the only male intern on staff here's dad.
yeah,
It's not very specific.
yeah. No one knows.
Nobody knows.
I'm not saying any
a
names.
single person. Anyway.
But anyway, she said that it was interesting coming from me, knowing my view on the inerrancy of Scripture, that I would say something like that, a nuance where verses were either, cut or edited or inserted, that I would say it's not a big deal. And she was like, that seems super inconsistent. Like, I don't, she was like, I don't even know you anymore. And so I was like, no. What I meant was, when I said it's not that big of a deal, I wasn't saying, who cares? I was saying that when people bring that up, they're trying to use it as a gotcha. Like, oh, see, I gotcha. You know, your Bible's corrupt. And to go, it's not that big of a deal because we can easily explain it. We can easily justify why the translators did it the way they did it.
Yeah, because we're not hiding that it's at least it's unwise to hide that it's a translation. Like, English is not what Scripture was written in.
Yeah.
And the translation is not outside of what the original meaning of the text was.
Yeah.
Whether it's slightly expanded or not.
Yeah.
And that's where it's not a big deal.
Yeah. We can very easily verify we can. I mean, if you spoke Greek and Hebrew, you could translate your own Bible. Like, you could totally do that. We have access to the manuscripts. But it's not that big of a deal, it doesn't need to scare you that things like that exist in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal because you can easily explain it and move on. Like, it should not be a hang up for you or a deal breaker to follow Jesus or to read the Bible or anything like that, or to trust it.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what I meant. It's not that big of a deal.
Fantastic. That's all the questions for the sermon I have. I do have one more question for you.
Okay.
Since you always like to put me on the spot.
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
to put you on the spot.
Okay.
All right.
I don't always like to put you on the spot. Do I?
You do a lot, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
What are you excited about in ministry for 2026?
That is putting me on the spot.
These are the questions you always ask me at the last minute.
More podcasts with my friend Wesley.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. What am I excited for? Actually, there's a couple things. The worship team is in a really good spot. It's been growing. I'm gonna do a worship team, kind of just solely us, kind of a Christmas party, but wanting it to just be like the worship team together to just continue to team build. And I think, we're in a really good spot. People are wanting to be on the team. Our team is growing, and seeing a lot of just fruit from just wanting to be relational with people. And so I'm really excited about that, and just to see what God does with the team there. I'm excited to see the SWAT team continue to grow, the SWT, the student worship team. Excited to see them grow. There's a couple students that are kind of aging into the student worship team, and so I'm hoping that they'll kind of start to audition and jump in, so then that team is going to grow. Excited to always preach. I know there's some more opportunities to do that. Excited for always the WB show. That's just fun. I know we're kind of going to go possibly a different direction, going to get away from possibly the ruin and do some obscure characters. So that'll be fun to kind of write those and see, make a different template, like to be creative in that sense.
Yeah. I'm glad you like that because I don't like that stuff.
It'll be good.
I'm a plug and play.
Yeah. No, it'll be good.
Until we run it into the ground.
It'll be good.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna uncover different things that we might have not noticed, and I think it'll be a blessing to people. So I'm excited about that. And then I had one more. Maybe it'll come to me. But
you're excited about that big festival you're doing in July that you're hosting?
maybe the all
Go
church,
ahead,
the all church. Love that you're calling it a festival now. Yeah.
Yeah. Just try to set everybody up for disappointment. No festival.
Yeah.
No festival.
No. Yeah.
Although we did talk about doing it from a barge, would be pretty sweet.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah,
If we could get somebody who has a barge that we could then power into. Yeah, we did talk about that, doing it right off of the golf course in Clarkston.
Yeah.
And do that because the water makes a natural acoustics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We talk about a lot of things.
yeah, that'd be awesome. We should do that.
Anyway.
Yeah. And yeah, excited to preach some more and see what God does through that. And yeah, there was one more thing that it just slipped my mind. But yeah, there's a lot of good things that are going to come from this year. So yeah, I also in my own personal life, and I'm saying this so not that I'm not bragging. So hear that I'm doing this because I need to be held accountable. And so this is me saying, okay, if I'm going to say this on a podcast, I should hopefully continue to do this. But I have, like last year, I really let a lot of my personal devotion time go and was not continually in the Word. And so this year I've kind of, a thing that my family does is we do a word of the year. And so like, what word are you going to be praying over? What word are you going to be kind of focused on? And it was a practice that my friends started in Utah, and they kind of instilled that in me of like, man, this is really kind of cool just to focus on a word that, you kind of pray over and think through what God, wants for you. And the word I was given, chose, however you want to look at it, was devotion. And it was like, I want to live a life devoted to God. I want to live a life of devotion to God. And so I've been able to, this year, kind of do a different thing as I'm studying the Bible on my own and really kind of my own personal time doing that. And so that's been going good. And I'm excited to see what God does through that. So all of those things.
Very cool.
What about you? You're like, nothing.
It's a great question. Yeah.
Your big fall festival?
The carnival. It's more of a festival than what you're hosting.
That's true.
So Children's is in a different place than it was a couple of years ago, in that it is getting too big for me to manage.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have more help than I've had in the past. And we're starting to divvy stuff up, which is also, it's hard to do stuff with other people. And I'm excited about that, but I also don't really know what I'm doing, And so that's kind of a challenge. But we here at Orchards have the opportunity to take a sabbatical every 7 years. Mm-hmm. And I think mine is in 2028. When is yours? 2029?
Well, I don't know if it counts as time served. I don't know. I don't remember. I've only been here for
work.
No, I'm. Well, so technically, I've been in ministry for like 8 years, like as a pastor. So I don't know if.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
My time as a pastor in my former church, or if it ties as just a pastor in this church.
I see.
So I think I'm starting or around the middle of year 5 for me. Yeah. So mine won't be for another 2 years. So mine will be 2028.
But it's been difficult for me to see how that was going to be possible. And now I feel like, I think I could build a team strong enough to make it through me being gone for an extended period of time. And so that's exciting. Having more help will also allow me to help walk alongside families more, which is really what I'm right now just feeling called to. And so creating more opportunities to help families become disciple makers of their children, which is a hard thing. And it's not a space that there's a lot of example of how to do that. But I'm excited about that. And I'm like, this is where it's great to have people like you around me, because we're excited about very different things. I do get kind of excited about mundane things over and over and over and over and over. And so, like, I love midweek children's. I mean, I love Awana. I love VBS. Like, I love that stuff. No matter how many times I do it, it's exciting to me. So I'm perfectly content being excited in the everyday. But sometimes that makes it hard for me to leave that space, you know? So anyway.
So, well, again, a question for you, just curious. What does it look like for you to walk alongside parents?
I think, it's a great question.
If you don't really have an answer, like you're still, I think that's okay. I don't want to put you on the spot, but.
Well, I think I can somewhat define it by what it's not. And I think churches for a long time, I think a lot of families, especially coming to faith now, I'm going to speak in generalities a little bit here.
Okay.
But Gen X, initially started kind of turning away from the church. Millennials kind of had the big boom in the 90s and then never came back. And everybody betted, they'll go through a hard time, they'll come back. They never really did.
Yeah.
We're starting to see some a little bit. Gen Z was quick to follow. Gen Alpha's still a little hard to tell yet. But essentially we're 3 generations deep now of parents who have likely had little to no example of walking with Jesus looks like in their own life, let alone leading their kids.
Yeah.
And for years, and I get it because it's easy and, like I can send take-home papers home until I'm blue in the face. I can send emails with devotions. But what happens is it's just another thing to fall short on, And I know how it is as a family. You have the best of intentions. You leave Sunday and you have the best of intentions to pray with your kids and have a devotional and read the Bible. But then before you know it, bam, Sunday is back around.
Yeah.
So more opportunities for us to do it together, do discipleship together. Because I think there's accountability in that. It's kind of like going to the gym. You're more likely to go to the gym if you're going with somebody.
Yeah.
But having opportunities to do some of those, praying together, being in God's Word together, as family units, and then hope that we can encourage families to do that outside.
Okay.
I'm excited about. I think the WB show. That's one of the goals of the WB show is to encourage families to go to service together.
Yeah.
Start this, and we're doing some things this year of doing just some regular services that'll be family Sundays.
Yeah.
To try to further encourage that. But I think it's going to be more opportunities of, and I think it's the discipleship model of, whether it's a family and another family or a person and a family walking together. Like we're just going to walk towards Jesus together. There's going to be opportunities for us to do that. Because I don't think as a church we've had a lot of opportunities to do that. And now there's a gap because, which I don't know that it's totally the church's fault, but a lot of families don't have an example.
Yeah. They're just kind of winging it.
Yeah. And if you've never seen it or seen what the values are, it's tough to navigate.
Yeah.
And
it would be pretty overwhelming just to I got to pray with my kids every night. I got to do this. I got to read the Bible. I got to go to church. I got to go to this thing. And it's just it's so overwhelming that you just kind of shut down.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same with anything. Even like addiction or anything like that, coming out of that alone is very difficult and almost impossible. And I would even argue not even what God's plan for us is. Can God save you out of that without anybody? Sure, He absolutely can. But we're meant to be in community and we're meant to walk together through these things.
Yeah.
And we can't just expect families to just figure it out. And we can't also expect families to get a lot better without someone helping.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm perfect or I know those things, because I'm not. But I want to help that be easier for families.
Well, and I think what's cool is even if there is a template that you're like, hey, this is a way you can do it. It's not the way to do it, but this is a way that you can do it. And then people can go, oh, I like that, or I don't like that because of whatever. And then they can go, okay, well, I didn't like this, so I like this. Like you can kind of go or cater it to your family. And even having a plan that you don't like helps you come up with a plan that you do.
Yeah.
So I think that's good that you're...
Well, every kid is different. I have one kid who asks me questions nonstop. Nonstop questions. It's really easy to have conversations.
Yeah.
And I have one that doesn't talk to me at all. Like getting anything of a conversation is difficult. And the way you have to treat those two situations is very different. And one of them lends itself more to my personality than the other. And I'm not even really sure, how to manage that myself.
Yeah.
So it's not like I don't need people around me. So some of it too is somewhat selfish. Of like, I want to be in a community that is holding me accountable. So, so anyway, does that answer your question?
That does.
Is that
yeah.
a good
Good job.
I think I'm excited about the stuff we're doing.
Yeah. That was the other thing I was going to say. I'm excited about the family services thing.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really cool.
I think so too.
We'll explain more on the annual meeting.
Yes.
Of what's going on. But yeah, I'm excited for that, and just the direction that the church is taking to do more intentional services. I think that's cool.
Yep. All right. Well, let's look ahead to next week. I believe James is going to be continuous through Romans. Mm-hmm. I believe he's going to do kind of a little bit of an overview, a sky-high view of Romans before moving on. I believe that's what I understand. But I could be wrong. He could be going on to the next verses. But I think he's going to do a little bit of an overview to paint a better picture as we walk further into Romans chapter 8.
Okay.
But again, I'm okay if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out Sunday.
Yeah. It's funny. I had a guy come and talk to me, and he was obviously new, but he asked about, he's like, man, you chose a really difficult passage to talk through. And I was like, well, that's kind of a weird way to say that, but okay. And we talked, and then he's like, man, are you guys gonna continue? Like, have you ever heard of expository preaching? And I was like, yeah, that's what we do. Like here we preach through the Bible. And so it dawned on me that some people may not know that we still do that.
Yeah.
That, even though we have an Advent series that was really fun, and, we do the WB show and stuff like that, that predominantly what we do is, James will pick a Bible, a book of the Bible, and we will literally go through verse by verse, chapter by chapter. And so I told him, you just happened to show up when we were starting a new series, which we do just to kind of break up the book, Romans is really long.
Yeah.
And so to break it up to where it's not, this is week 37 of Romans. You have different series within the overall arcing series, but it's still just preaching through the Bible. So anyway, people need to know that this is what we do, and this is what we're going to continue to do.
And you didn't throw James under the bus and be like, I didn't pick this.
There's no way I would have touched this. Yeah.
I agree.
Yes. We should do that. It's a good idea. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, I believe that's what the discussion was, but
okay. Cool.
I missed last week, so I could be totally off.
Yeah.
Base.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yep. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this week's Midpoint. If you'd like to send us any questions into the podcast, you can do so by email or text to occpodcast@lewistonocc.org, or you can submit a connection card, which is on our website that is very similar, lewistonocc.org. Just designate that it is a question for Midpoint. And we hope that you can join us in person or online during our weekend services. You can find out if I was wrong or not about what James is doing this weekend. Yeah. We have 3 services on Sunday at 8 a.m., 9:45, and 11:30 a.m. And then the same service again on Monday nights at 7 if you're a weekend warrior. We hope to see you all very soon. We're glad you're staying connected with us throughout the week. You are so loved by us here at OCC.
All right.